So in this video, we'll see how to create a table using our Python program. So first we'll see the syntax. Now as you can see, we have the syntax of create table, that is create table, then table name, and then we have passed the name of the columns that we want in our table, and each column name is having their own data type, and with every data type, and you can pass their constraints also, like not null, primary key, auto increment, and so on. So let me just tell you about the data types that Python provides. So as you can see, these are the basic data types that is provided by the Python, okay, for your creating the table columns. So as you can see, we are having integer to create a column which will be containing only integer values. Then second, we are having real, then text and blob and null. So these are the basic data types which you have might be learned in your SQL also. So these are the data types which we'll be using for creating our columns for our table. Now here also there are other data types like date and time. If your table is consisting of some columns which will be storing the data types of date, time and so on. So you can refer this link also, which is provided by SQLite.org. Okay, now I'll go back and see how to implement this in our PyCharm Studio. So in our previous page, we have added 3 columns, which are this ID, name and integer. And so as you can see, SQLite is indeed lightweight, but it supports all the basic features of a regular RDBMS database. Okay, such as data type nullable, primary key and auto increment. And now after running this code, we should have created a table already, and it outputs nothing. It will give you a blank output. So here is the example of creating a table. Import your SQLite 3 package, create a connection object and give the database name. Now to create a table, use this connection object, okay, and we'll execute our command, which is create table, table name and the columns that you want inside your table. Okay, so let's go to our PyCharm Studio and implement this. So here as you can see in our code, inside our create connection method, we have established our connection. We are having a cursor object and we are executing a command which is create table. I have given the table name employee. Here I have passed the 3 columns, which is ID, which is having the data type of integer, and its constraint is not null, which means that this column fields can't contain null values. And second is name column, which is containing text data type, and third is age, which is again containing the integer data type. So when you will run this code, so as you can see, we have successfully created our table employee. How you know that? Because we have generated is a blank output. Okay. So the summary of this video is that what we have learned the syntax of create a table using our execute command, that we have to pass create table, then we have to give the table name, and then we have to pass the column names, each having its own data type and their own constraint. We have seen the example and we have seen how to run this code in our PyCharm Studio. In our next video, we'll see how to insert records in this table.